Hello all. So we are going to talk about the if condition today, because if is something like whenever you have certain conditions in such a way that you want to go ahead with this particular flow or the other flow, okay, or one path or the other path, then that time we use the if condition. Fine. So if condition can be used or is used in any programming language or rather in all the programming language. Okay, it's used in Python, then C, then C++, maybe Java, okay, etc. PLSQL, okay, and we are going to just have a look at the if condition in a generalized manner first, and then later on we would talk about the if condition related to the Python programs. So let's start. So when we talk about the programming constructs, first and foremost thing is what is a program, but we have started writing a program. We know how to write down the program sequentially. Okay, so if suppose we are giving the statements one after another, that is a sequence, fine. But there are two other building blocks too, and they are the thing, but selection and iteration. Out of that, we are going to talk about the selection today. So when you talk about the selection, it looks like this. Rather, it looks like this. Okay. So when you talk about this particular condition, you can see here, this is the start point. Some process, you might take the values of the variables. You would be giving some decision. It is really very easy and simpler. If suppose you want to learn some programming language as the first programming language of your life, okay, and obviously you decide that which programming language I should go for. I want to go for Python or I want to go for C. So obviously you would be going for, or you would be selecting only one programming language at a time, because you know that firstly I would look at the first programming language and then maybe later on I would learn some other programming language. So you would be taking some path, the first path. But at one point of time, there was some decision point in your life, whether I should go for this Python or whether I go for that C. Something like that, here it has been given. This is a decision. You go for Python or you might go for C. If you are going for Python, then no for C. If you go for C, then no for Python. Fine. And obviously later on you learn. So this is something like learning. Okay. So this is nothing but the selection. So selection determines when a path in a program takes and which path is taken and how it would be running. So sometimes you only want some lines of code to be run only if a condition is met. Otherwise, you want the computer to ignore the other lines. Obviously, if suppose you are taking up the path related to Python, why would you look into the C syntax? Why would you think that how if I learn C, then what is going to happen? Because you are talking about Python at this moment. Okay, so here you'll have to ignore about C and you would be starting with Python. Fine. So this is known as the selection and it is achieved by the if condition. And in few programming language, there is a case statement too. So one is if, other is case. Now, if has got certain things, certain points in such a way that we can give if else, we can give if elif. Okay, in this manner we are going to understand that. So this generalized statement, if suppose I'm asking someone how old are you, okay, and I obviously he enters say 17, okay, and then I'm going to write down the condition if age greater than 18, then you are old enough to drive a car. But I entered the value as 17. I said that the value which has been entered by me is 17. Fine. Then obviously it would be checked over here. Is 17 greater than 18? No, obviously not. It would go to the else part and come back when you are older would be printed. But if suppose again if I execute the program and if I write here 19, it would be checked if 19, because age has got value as 19, okay, and age 19 is greater than 18, yes, obviously. So you are old enough to drive a car and you might get a license. Okay, so in this manner, obviously this is generalized statement, and we can understand how to write down a code, right? So now we will start writing the programming Python. Okay, so this is my Python editor. Yeah, I can write it down on the command prompt, but then every time the command prompt will come, as and when I press enter, and then it might happen that I would get confused that whether the indentation has been given or not. Yes, obviously I would tell you about the indentation too. So better I will open the editor, and I opened it. Right, and then I'm going to write down the code, obviously. So here I would talk about the syntax first. So if condition 1, okay, and we give the colon, that is the indentation operator. This indentation operator is, you would be coming across it in if, elif, else, etc. You will be coming across it when you will be giving the iterative statements like for loop, while loop, etc. When you would be giving the constructs for giving the function name, user defined function name, you will be coming across it, but you will not be using it at one point, at any point of time. The meaning of this is whenever you want to align your program in such a way that the if condition, okay, the statements under it. Okay, I want to go to else, so statement under it. So obviously it should be clear to understand. This particular set of statement under if, this particular set of statement under else. Okay, but that doesn't happen in the sequential programming. Okay, when you write down the code one after another, it is not like that. This will be under this, or this will be under that. Okay, there you don't have to give the colon. That is, this is known as the indentation operator. Okay, in this manner, actually it is a beginner's language, I would say, again, as I always say. Okay, because the thing is here, you are giving the rather Python is helping you to give your indentation operator in such a indentation operator and to align your program. Fine, so here I am going to write down some statement. Okay, and then maybe it would be over, but obviously there is a syntax is nothing but the technique, or we can say the method in which the program would be written. So I would uh, give here the multi-line comment. Fine, and then I would be writing actual program. So if I say if a greater than b, okay, and I write it down, print a is greater. Okay, tell me whether this program would get executed properly or whether it would give me an error. Okay, so let's check it. And it is asking me fine, and then I'm going to execute it, but it is giving me a is not defined, so obviously it would give me an error. So here I'll have to define a. So I will write down here int of input of, I can give here float also if I want the value in the decimal point, and then I would give here enter a, and then I would say fine, a greater than b. Okay, I hope it is correct. So I don't have to save it again, it has been saved, and then it is asking me the value 5. B is not defined. Okay, but I don't want to give here 5, I don't want to give here b, I would say 4. I suppose now there must not be any problem. Okay, so now let's execute it, and I would come to know enter a, and if I say 6, yes, a is greater than b. Fine, but if suppose I give here the value as 9 and I enter here, say the value as 10, 10 is greater than 9, yes, a is greater than b. Chalo, a is greater than 9. Okay, b has been removed. So here I would execute it again, and I will say here the value as 4. It won't give me anything because there is no else statement. There is nothing else statement. So it won't give me anything. But if I give here else, and if I write it down, a is less than 9. Okay, now I suppose there won't be any problem and it will get executed for in both the ways. Okay, is less than 9. So now I suppose you must have understood how does the program execute, and it takes that particular value in A, whatever I am giving, it is checking over here if it is true. We have done the relational operators before. If this condition is true, execute it. If this condition is false, it will not look at the statement. It would ignore the statement which was there in the PPT slide I told you. It would go to else and it would execute this. Okay, so it is really very simple and easy to understand. Okay, now I want to swap the two numbers, the popular program in any programming language, but I want to check both the numbers have to be greater than 0. This was my condition, right? So here I am going to write here print, I am going to write down two variables exchange. So I would write here int of input of enter A. Okay, in the same manner, enter B. Okay, I want to check the condition that if A greater than 0, okay, if B greater than 0. See, this type of statement is known as a nested if, because if has been given inside another if. Okay, I would write down the code, say T equal to A equal to B, and B equal to T. Now this T is a temporary variable. Okay, this A whatever has been taken, if they are greater than 0, this A would be assigned to T. Okay, and then this B would be assigned into A. Okay, and the T which we have taken already would be assigned into B. I would explain this properly. Wait. Okay, so now I am executing it and I am print the values of A and B after exchange are A, B. Fine, and else print B is negative, else print A is negative. Okay, so I wrote the program, and if they're greater than 0, then only this will happen. Okay, and what is this? I will let you know. I will execute the program first. I would here give 67, here I would give 33, and you can see the value of A and B after exchange are 33 and 67. What happens exactly? The values have been exchanged, the values have been swapped. What has been happened exactly? Here the value of A say was 33 and B was 67. Okay, and what happened exactly? We have taken a temporary variable for some time. We don't have to declare it because it has not been happened, it has not been used on the right hand side. So t equal to a, so t equal to, it would be 33 in the first go. Okay, then a equal to b. What is the value of b? The value of b is 67. So a would be 67, right? And what is written? B equal to t. Okay, what is the value of t? This is the value of t. So here it would be 33. See, can you see here? A equal to 3367 was there, and now after execution it would be a equal to 67 and a b equal to 33. So in this manner we can see that the values have been exchanged, right? So I suppose it is really very easy. This is known as a dry run. This particular thing is known as a dry run. Fine. If I execute this code with respect to zeros, we would try to do it, or greater than 0, less than 0, because I am checking the condition for greater than 0. See, a is negative. In this manner it is giving the value. It took this a is negative finally, or I can give here a and b are negative. So in this manner we understood the if condition. It must be very easy for you to understand. This is a sequential construct. Thank you, stay tuned.